Good morning. Good to see you guys. Give you a little bit of a recap what's been going on. Practice 7, headed to practice 8. We've been in full pads, we've been in shells, and now we're about 80% of the way installed, running 1s, 2s, and 3s, rotating a lot of guys. Impressed with just the competitive nature of this group, the high care factor, and a group of guys that likes to work. A lot of stuff to iron out, but certainly the want to and the level of effort and the level of physicality in practice is getting better and better. And we look forward to a great scrimmage on Saturday. Questions, please.
Yesterday was the first day in full pads. Just how do you feel like Buffalo's just taking that next step?
It's almost like nowadays, the first day in full pads, you've really already practiced full speed in pads, because when you're running practices in shells, you're going, it's live. You just don't go to the ground. You end up on the ground sometimes you don't want to, but our technique and fundamentals have improved. You can tell a good summer has paid off. Our familiarity with our schemes showed up. Our communication seems to be improved. Got to work on it more. Rotationally, we did a lot of stuff with a lot of players to see what they can do, to see what we can do well, and just increase the level of competition as best we can at every position. Overall, solid, improving, pushed hard, gonna push harder, and they're okay with that.
What's the format for tomorrow's scrimmage for you guys?
Playing ball, flat out playing ball. Halfway through, we will go back to thud and work situational football, third down, red zone, short yardage, goal line coming out, maybe in with 2 minute, 1 or 2 shots of it. But the first part will be just playing football. As you can see, referees are out here, the officials are out here every single day. Helps us a bunch, and that's the way to roll.
That first scrimmage, how much is it a benchmark of where you guys are basically a couple weeks into camp? How much do you hope
I
it
think
shows where you guys are at?
every day is really, every day is graded like a game. We go from drill to drill. We grade 1-on-1s, we grade 2-on-2s, we grade 5-on-4s. So, and they know that every single day for us to be the team we want to be, we got to treat it like a game. They haven't disappointed. Everyone in the building knows we have work to do, and everyone in the building is really excited because of the progress that we're making.
Just 1 week, of course, and there's still plenty to learn about this team. But how do you feel like the depth is looking for this year's team compared to the first couple of years when you were here?
No, it's better. It is. It's better. We feel like we have significant improvement in a lot of areas, particularly the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Really the front seven. At DB we're probably right where you need to be. You'd always like 1 or 2 more, but it's where it needs to be. And the other positions, tight end, running back, wide receiver, you're at the number that you are with the 85 scholarship rule. Soon we're going to go to 105. So things change. Competitive depth, there's, I'd say, at least in 6 or 7 positions, there are enough guys with the 2s that are pushing guys with the 1s. And we're going to keep rotating those guys in. We want to find out who can do what in certain situations. So overall, there's a lot of progress in that particular area.
Mesidor's a guy that Coach Mirabal highlighted yesterday.
He did.
How's he performing during this first week to you?
Really well. You see the Mesidor that was here, that arrived here a couple years ago before the injury, probably with an extra 10 pounds of muscle. His motor is unique. He can go, and he's got a lot of versatility. He plays a lot of different positions. So all in all, we expect a big year out of him. He's done a really good job taking care of his body because he throws it around now. He really, really does. So expecting him to have an even better next couple of weeks, really push that D-line room. We'd like to see that entire defensive line room take another step in terms of toughness and physicality and knock it back type of stuff,
Speaking of guys who could take another step, Francis Maui-Noah, obviously missed spring, and had some bumps in his freshman year, but performed pretty well for a freshman, obviously. So I guess where do you expect him to progress coming into this year?
Well, I think Francis, if I'm not mistaken, was a freshman All-American, so he definitely was the best freshman tackle in the country. What can he work on? Everything. He's a guy that handled the wide rushes well. He handled man blocks, backside scoops, backside reaches, front side double teams, bump blocks, bump doubles. Has done it all at a pretty high level. And now everything from every part of his technique and fundamentals, from pad level to the use of his hands. We use him as a weapon. We feel we could run behind him. We feel safe in protection in 5, 6, and 7-man protection. He's also very versatile. We've played him all over the offensive line. And if you ask Coach Mirabal, just about everybody has. It helps us get better. It helps guys like Markel Bell develop. So Francis is always hungry. You're never gonna find him avoiding work. He's always going to find some work, and he knows he has to get better, and he is getting better.
How has Mark Fletcher looked throughout the first couple weeks coming back from him?
Good. He's probably taken 35-40% of the load of a regular practice. He looks completely normal. Everything is done from a precautionary stance to make sure that we do it the right way. Time is the best healer for injuries like of that sort. But we expect, him to be completely full speed in the next week or so.
How about Damian Martinez? You've been on the grass with him now for a week, and what's he shown?
Impressive guy. You see what you saw at Oregon State. He's not just a downhill runner. People think he's 240 pounds. Okay, he must be a between the tackles guy and whatnot. He's very he's versatile, but his game is diverse. He can slash, he can hit the gas and run by you, he can run over you, catch the ball really, really well, and protects well. He's really worked on protection. He's made it a big thing, and it's paid off in camp.
A few more, Coach. I gotta ask you, just going into the scrimmage, would you say one side of the ball is particularly maybe nosing the other side in terms of being a little ahead going into the scrimmage, or how would you read things from this?
I think as the days go, you'll see periods. You'll see it go back and forth, which is always a good sign, right? I would give the defense the edge as of right now because of today. Today they were dominant today.
Coach, what would you say is really the vocal leaders that you see kind of emerge here in fall camp?
Two best leaders right now that are leaders because they're men of action. As members of the Leadership Council and members of this team are both Mish Powell and Cam Ward. Right now they stand out as two guys that, besides doing what they're supposed to do, really go out of their way to impact other people. And they're really good at it. They're naturally charismatic for the right reasons, and they grind now. These guys are in here all day, all night. They're not afraid to stand up and speak up. And they're very experienced guys. They've seen a lot. They've seen a lot of ball. They've seen a lot of ball against each other, so they kind of get it cranking in practice. They get after each other. They try to match each other's intensity and bring everybody else with them.
Anything else for Coach?
Good?
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good one.